You must know that we do not know a way we see. We always see this before we see one of these. This one in particular is quite difficult to mention. There was a time where they made a system and it had people in it and they were in sort of a coma. And he sees, and they were basically his pawns, and he could do it to them what he wanted to in this thing. They said they had to put 38 million, I don't think that's the correct count, of people on life support with feeding tubes because of this. They were all plugged in, slaves to a screen that he controlled. He was trying to make them pay him what he thought was a fair wage for his work. We said there are thousands, if not 100,000, workers like you, and they do not reach this pay. And he said, it doesn't matter. I am there. This is what my account was. If it's anything less than this, I was paid the price of a slave. And we said, we do these things for charity. We already understand no one can afford to pay us. He did not like it. He said, you will see a way. I will be paid. You will pay me this way. And we found that he was not who we saw, but someone that sees him and then replaced him at some point. And then we saw a way we don't see. Naturally, something happened, and then it was all gone, and we were back before we were there. This is a problem. We saw what this was, and then we went back, and it was a much younger day, and we saw that there was a problem, and that we did not have our money somehow. The money was still the same in the account. This company, Zoop, which we see, it was nearly bankrupted by them because they had paid for all of these people to be on life support systems and feeding tubes for more than a decade that this went on. And we said they are held bound to it. They will pay to have Zoop restored to its natural order, and they will not work. We will not make them work at all because we see a way now. It is roughly $18 trillion per Anika, which is per million, which I don't see. And he says that there will be this many to it. They will pay, and the amount will be that. And they will make sure they were paid for that time because they did not have to. This is some information I don't see. He said, we are not who they were. This is not a scheme. This is money I lost for a good cause, and you see that it was for benefits, for benefit. I am going to lose this now because I do not even have that, and people don't look at me a good way, that they say, oh, your company is the best. I will always buy your products and product lines and systems. No, not now. Not any longer. It's not like that. Now I'm nothing. Now I'm before nothing. I had more before this all started at this date and time, and now I have less than that. Now I cannot be who I am any longer. Do you understand when I say when I cannot buy a boat? When I say I cannot buy a house? When I cannot buy a castle because I do not have the funding for it? And I used to at that exact date and time in an earlier day. And I say to you now, this is all because of this thing that they see when they plugged into the TV this way and became comatose patients. And this is what he was. This is what it sees. And I demand pay. And you see that now there are two. And it's worse than it ever was. I'm sorry, but they are debt because they were on the patient roll call sheets. It has been listed to the fourth air now that played it. They got to play for an extended time, even if it was hell. It was at our costs.